Hey guys, welcome back to the Curly Reader. My name's Amanda, and today I want to do the Library Lovers book tag. So, the Library Lovers book tag is a book tag that has been around for quite a while, and it was created by Pie Books originally, and it's just a bunch of questions about library. And since it is Library Appreciation Month, I thought that I would do at least a book tag since all of my other library appreciation content is not going to happen because all the libraries are closed right now. So anyway, I at least wanted to do this just to show a little bit of love for my library because I use my library a lot. A lot. So anyway, let's get into these questions. I did not prepare for this at all. So we're just gonna kind of fly by the seat of our pants here. The first question is, how often do you visit your local library? Well, right now, not at all. But typically, I would say that I would go to the library at least once a week. I take my kids there, they get their books there. In the summer, we go a lot more often than during the school year because during the school year, they get their books from school, the library at school, and so I don't have to take them quite as often. But I do go to the library quite often, if nothing else than to just run in and pick up books that I have on hold. So I would say I go probably at least once a week, typically. Number two is, are you the type of person who checks out more books than you know you can read, or are you someone who only checks out the exact amount of books you intend on reading before they are due? I would say I'm kind of a combination of both. It's like people say they have bigger eyes than stomach or whatever, like they get more food on their plate than what they can actually eat. I tend to think I can read more than what I actually can read. I try to be realistic when I go to the library, and if I really know that there's no possible way I'm ever going to read these books, I try not to take them. That way other people can read them if I can't. But I also tend to check out books and have to return them before I actually get around to reading them. So I don't know, probably the one about getting more books than what I actually can read. I do this also with audiobooks a lot. On Overdrive, I will check out way more audiobooks than what I can actually read and download them all. That way, when I'm in the mood for an audiobook, I have options, rather than only checking out the one book that I want to read right now. I'll check out a bunch. So I guess kind of in that regard too. All right, number three is, how old were you when you got your first library card? I have no clue. I've been going to the library since I was a toddler, like consistently since I was a toddler. So I would assume when I started writing, because that tends to be kind of the standard, is you have to know how to write your name before you can get a library card. But I have not the slightest idea. Number four is, do you go to your library looking for a particular book, or do you check out anything that piques your interest? Both. I will go if I know I need something specific. I'll put it on hold typically and go and get it. Otherwise, I do go and I just browse, especially picture books and stuff for my kids. I'll just go in and browse books and just pull stuff. And sometimes stuff for myself too. I'll go in and I'll just start pulling books off the shelf that look interesting and check them out. Number five is, do you use your library to check out just books, or do you also check out DVDs, audiobooks, etc.? I use the library for everything that they have there. So we check out DVDs for the kids, or for us even sometimes if there's a specific movie that I can't stream somewhere, I will get it from the library because it's free. Unless it's a new release. My library is weird. It has a bunch of free DVDs, but then the new releases are like $1 a day or something like that. But yeah, so we do that. I've checked out books on CD for my kids to listen to on a CD player before. We do audiobooks via the streaming service. We do ebooks via the streaming services, or the online services. So we check out the whole gamut of things from the library. Definitely not just books. A library is not just books. All right, number five is, from what section of your library do you check out the majority of your books? YA, middle grade, adult, nonfiction? Hands down, middle grade. I check out way more middle grade books than anything else. One, because my kids are reading that, so I check it out for them. I check it out for myself. Occasionally, I'll dip into the adult and YA sections, but most of my physical reading is off of my shelves if it's adult or YA, or I listen to the audiobook. So I'm not checking books out physically from my library unless it's middle grade typically. But occasionally I'll get stuff here and there. All right, and then number seven, what is your favorite part of using your local library? And for me, it's that it's free. Everything is just free unless you keep books out longer than you're supposed to. But, libraries have so much more than only the books and only checking stuff out. They have so many free programs. I take my kids to story time there in the summer. They have all sorts of events going on for the kids, but not just for kids. Like my library puts out every season, they put out a whole like pamphlet of all the classes that they're offering. They have a whole room that has a sewing machine and like a Cricut or Silhouette cutter, and they have a 3D printer and a laminator and like all these gadgets that you would like to use but you can't afford. You can go in there and use them for free. You reserve a time slot, they come in, they train you on how to use it, and you use it for free. So I highly suggest that you go check out your library for what they offer. Not all libraries are the same, and I get that, but most of them nowadays are really trying to build community. They know that people can get books online. They can get the audio and the ebooks via the streaming services. And so they're wanting people to come into the library, and they are willing to provide the services that you are seeking to get people there. So, as far as like renting out meeting spaces, just all sorts of things that you can utilize your library for. And so, yeah, I love utilizing my library for all sorts of things like that. But yeah, that was the Library Lovers book tag. If you have any comments about any of my answers or anything that I've said today, I'd love to hear, your feedback and all of that down below in the comment section. But yeah, other than that, I hope that you enjoyed this, and I hope that you go check out your library as soon as they open. Also, you might as well check in with them, because I know my library and the library in the county next to mine, they're doing curbside pickup. So if you are needing some books and you don't want to do audiobooks or ebooks, call your library and see if they're doing curbside pickup, because they might be. And a lot of them, even if you don't have a library card, they're letting you apply for them and get library cards over the phone or online, so that they can continue to service the community around them during this time. They do not want to become obsolete during this quarantine, and so they are trying their hardest to continue to be a contributing part of society right now. So definitely check in with them, see how you can support them during all of this. And yeah, as soon as all of the quarantines lift, get back to your library, check them out. And other than that, I hope that you stick around and subscribe. Until next time, see ya.